Welcome back, everybody. It's your man Oskino the Don here. So if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Everybody viewing this, please run them likes up and drop a comment below based on what you think about today's topic. Today's topic is super pigs to invade the United States. Whew, wow. When I heard the word super pig, I was thinking of like Marvel. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Marvel character Spider Ham, which is a version of Spider Man that is an actual pig. But let's bring up the topic because this is pretty dangerous. They are one of the most invasive species and they can eradicate a lot of farmland, destroy the farmland, pretty much cause a lot of issues for the way that we eat and the way that we live our lives. So, yeah. And they say that about 65% can actually, like, if you take out 65% of these super pigs, they would still increase in numbers. So they doing a lot of reproduction in a fast way. So let me just share my screen with y'all and bring up this article. Just want to read from this article so we are all very well informed about what's about to happen. It says super pigs, called the most invasive animal on the planet, and it threatens to invade the United States. So I believe they are coming down from Canada, and of course they would make their first entrance to the United States around the Minnesota area, as I have read. So let me put my glasses on for this because I can't really see. Okay. An exploding population of hard to eradicate super pigs in Canada is threatening to spill south of the border. In northern states like Minnesota, North Dakota, and Montana are taking steps to stop the invasion. In Canada, the wild pigs roaming Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba pose a new threat. They are often crossbreeds that combine the survival skills of wild Eurasian boars with the size and high fertility of domestic swine to create a super pig that's spreading out of control. Ryan Brook, a professor at the University of Saskatchewan and one of Canada's leading authorities on the problem, calls feral swine the most invasive animal on the planet and an ecological train wreck. Does not sound good at all. And so, how did super pigs become a problem in Canada? Well, according to the article, pigs are not native to North America. While they've roamed parts of the continent for centuries, Canada's problem dates back only to the 1980s when it encouraged farmers to raise wild boar, Brooks said. The market collapsed after peaking in 2001, and some frustrated farmers simply cut their fences, setting the animals free. It turned out that the pigs were very good at surviving Canadian winters. Smart, adaptable, and furry, they eat anything, including crops and wildlife. They tear up land when they root for bugs and crops. They can spread devastating diseases to hog farms like African swine fever, and they reproduce quickly. A sow can have 6 piglets in a litter and raise 2 litters in a year. That is a lot of reproduction, y'all. And said that means 65% or more of a wild pig population could be killed every year, and it will still increase. Hunting just makes the problem worse, he said. The success rate for hunters is only about 2 to 3%, and several states have banned hunting because it makes the pigs more wary and nocturnal, tougher to track down and eradicate. So yeah, I don't know what the solution to this problem is if hunting actually makes it worse because they, as they said, they're very adaptable and pretty much very aware of what's going on. So it said wild pigs already cause around $2.5 billion in damage to U.S. crops every year, mostly in southern states like Texas, and they can be aggressive towards humans. A woman was killed in Texas by wild pigs in 2019. Says the animals have been blamed for causing at least $100 million in property damage in Texas, where legislation allows hog hunting from hot air balloons. That makes sense, I guess, because you can see them better from above, sort of like helicopters can spot out fleeing suspects that are on the run. It says eradication of wild pigs is no longer possible in Manitoba and Saskatchewan, Brooks said, but the situation isn't hopeless everywhere, and a few U.S. states have eliminated them. The key, he said, is having a detection system that finds them early and fast and then respond quickly. Brooke and his colleagues have documented 62,000 wild pig sightings in Canada. Their aerial surveys have spotted them on both sides of the Canadian North Dakota border. They've also recorded a sighting in Manitoba within 18 miles of Minnesota. Nobody should be surprised when pigs start walking across that border if they haven't already. The question is, what will be done about it? Brooks said Montana has been the most serious about keeping wild pigs out. It banned raising and transporting wild pigs within the state. The only path forward is you have to be really aggressive and you have to use all the tools in the toolbox. That could include big ground traps with names like Boar Buster or net guns fired from helicopters. Some states and provinces embrace crowdsourced squeal on pigs tracking programs. Scientists have also studied poisons such as sodium nitrate, but they risk harming other species. Minnesota is among the states trying to prevent the swine from taking hold. The state's Department of Natural Resources is expected to release a report in February identifying gaps in its management plan and recommending new prevention steps. Meanwhile, the U.S. Department of Agriculture is using aircraft and drones to beef up surveillance along the northern border. All right. I think that's it for this article that I'm going to use. It's very interesting, right? So not only do we have invasion of humans, I should say, you know, I don't mean to offend anybody, but we're having invasions of the most invasive species on the planet. You know, and the most dangerous too, because of how they can reproduce, how they're able to adjust to the harsh winters in Canada and survive. And the more that you hunt them, the more they become wary of them being hunted. So they become better at hiding and surviving. And they multiply almost at the same rate that humans can. You know, obviously, you know, one male with different women because, you know, women have to carry full term. But, you know, needless to say, you know, with all the land in the farm that's been bought up by Bill Gates, how much land we're going to have if this actually becomes like an epidemic? And, you know, not to mention, like they said, that they have a lot of deadly diseases that they could bring. So, yeah, you know, it's pretty interesting. What do you guys think, though, about this topic? Do you think, what do you think the solution is, too? Because they're saying that hunting isn't really the end all be all, but what else are we to do if they continue to destroy, you know, farmers who do provide organic food and crops for people to eat? You know, I'm not talking about the Bill Gates farms. You feel me? So yeah, I don't know. It seems like we're having an invasion everywhere, you know, human invasion, animal invasion, pesticide invasion, water pollution invasion of foreign substances and things of that nature. So it just seems like, you know, everything is coming to a head where things are going to be changing very, very quickly. But I'd like to hear from y'all. What do y'all think? Run them likes up, hit the subscribe button if you haven't. And yeah, check you out in the next video. Peace and one love, y'all.